So what if two people wanted to have a relationship, you know, and they wanted to do something, have a contract together, maybe even a marriage contract? What if they were the same gender? Well, in Colorado, you can do that now, which is a good thing. But what if they wanted to have a business relationship that was working for them? Well, you can't do that. To talk about that, the issue of vaping, I want to make sure. Chris Guaman, welcome. You own a vaping bar, is that right, up in Greeley?
I do.
What's it called?
Yes. Smokeless CG Vapors.
I want to ask you about that in a second, but you have your bar in this guy's building. Matt Revitte, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And what kind of building do you have?
It's a mixed-use building, commercial on the main floor, residential up, and in the basement.
Is this in like downtown Greeley?
Yes.
Oh, cool. So you've got people living and shops down below.
Bars, restaurants, and vape bars.
Really? And vape bars, his vape bar.
Correct.
Is his business important to you?
It helps me pay my mortgage, yes.
And so if he doesn't have a business, you're in trouble.
That would be a little bit cramping my style.
Yeah, and you've got some things. All right, let me ask you some basic questions about vaping.
Sure.
Now, people will be listening to this and they're going to think this is about smoking pot. Is this about smoking pot?
No, it's not.
What is vaping then?
Vaping is it's an alternative to tobacco smoking. Essentially, you have a bottle of fluid. The fluid is heated and you inhale steam.
And it's steam.
Correct.
So putting your face over your tea kettle and breathing that in is kind of the same thing.
You could make that comparison.
All right. You got some of these products, and I got to tell you, it looks a little drug paraphernalia-ish here. This is not your regular e-cigarette. What is this? These are crack pipes, aren't they?
No, they're not.
Not that I've ever seen a crack pipe, but that's exactly what mine looks like.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what is it? Show me how it looks.
Okay, so you basically have two pieces to each unit. The bottom piece is the battery here.
Yep.
And the top piece is the tank, which holds the fluid.
And what is the fluid?
The fluid is a nicotine-based product. You select the level of nicotine depending on what you want to do. If you're getting off tobacco, you want to taper down slowly. And we have salesmen who help you decide that.
All right. So if I breathe that in, what do I breathe out?
It's vapor.
May I? Does it work?
I don't have it set up, but we can get it going.
All right. So if I breathe in, I breathe out steam, a
Correct.
vapor.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Does it smell?
Most of them smell good, yeah.
Do they linger in the air like tobacco smoke?
No, not at all.
I mean, not at all. It's not tobacco smoke. I've been around a lot of people who use e-cigarette. This is basically an e-cigarette, but it's more industrial looking.
A bit more advanced, a bit more high quality.
Okay. Let's talk about what happened. You wanted to put a business in Matthew's building. What did you do?
Well, first I found the city's number, and I called the city and I asked if there was any ordinances.
The city of Greeley.
Correct. Stopping me from opening a vaping bar. I then found the building and contacted Matt and said, hey, I want to do this. I like the location. And he said, okay, well, what's vaping? You know, just like you asked me. But he asked me to go a little further.
Yeah.
He asked me to get something in writing.
What were your concerns?
I had these stereotypes of, you name it. You know?
A bunch of potheads hanging out in a den.
Oh, more advanced potheads.
Yeah.
And so I actually went undercover to his vaping bar in Loveland, and I was pleasantly surprised.
What did you see there?
It was well run, it was professional, it was clean, and there wasn't a 2-foot wall of smoke to cut through.
So in other words, it was like going into a smoky bar without any smoke.
Indeed.
Really? So did it smell bad? Your eyes hurt?
Not at all.
Your asthma kick in?
Not at all.
It was. And you also have people living above this shop. You must have been concerned about how they're going to react, because if you're going to put a tobacco shop down there with smoking or a loud nightclub, you're going to upset your tenants.
I've had no complaints whatsoever
Really?
from the tenants.
They're down with it.
No complaints.
All right, so you signed a lease.
Correct.
And you signed it personally?
I did.
You fool.
I'm the sole owner of the business.
Really? Mm-hmm. Now this is important to you for a few reasons. This is how you make a living.
Absolutely.
Single dad, I heard?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now let's get into the good stuff. You open up for business, what was it, November?
We opened November 1st.
And life is good. How's business treating you?
It's treating us well. It's slowly growing. We're doing good.
So people are coming in. What's the problem? I'm sorry, I'm missing the issue here.
3 weeks after starting the remodel, after signing a long-term lease with Matt, I received a phone call from Becky Safrick, who is part of the city council.
Assistant city manager.
Ah, a functionary, not a city council member, but someone who works on staff.
Right.
All right, keep going.
She says the final reading on a ban on e-cigarettes is tonight. Would you like to come speak?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And this was 3 hours before city council meeting.
I had about 4 hours to prepare.
So 3 hours before they were going to vote to ban your activity, you got a notice from the city. We're thinking about banning your business.
Correct.
Sweet. This doesn't bother you, does it?
A little bit,
Yeah.
a little bit. And I in turn called Becky and I said, wait a minute, we've got an email right here from the city attorney saying we're okay. And I mean, why would we read a ordinance when we were legal? And she said that it was published and notice was given. Well, not to us. And I indicated to her very few people read their own obituaries because they're published. I mean, it's just,
Right.
we would have no right to. So we were caught completely off guard. I really feel it was underhanded.
Let me see if I got this right. In November, the city attorney of Greeley says, you're fine.
Actually, in August.
In August. Everybody says, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. You're going about your business, and then 3 hours before they vote to ban you, they say, oh, by the way, we're voting to ban you. Mm-hmm. What happens next?
Well, I went to the city council and requested that they table the motion so that we had time to prepare, kind of voiced my story. And so it was tabled until January 6th, 2 nights ago. So then now it's also been postponed until January 20th.
So you've got this deadline hanging over you. You're sitting on the Green Mile hoping that the governor calls and gives you clemency. Otherwise, you're out. Your business is gone, and your personal wealth, because this is how you make your money. Mm-hmm. Incredible. Why has this become an issue in Greeley? What about vaping got the attention of City Council?
I'm going to give you an example just to kind of let you know some of the mindsets where I live. Not that many years ago, we had a liquor judge deny a liquor license for a restaurant in town, Sheba Hut, because he didn't like the artwork. And the artwork was full frontal nudity of bare naked marijuana plants. And that was overturned by an appellate judge who referenced this document called the First Amendment.
So basically you believe that the city of Greeley just doesn't get this product because it looks like drug use when in fact it's an e-cigarette. You think that?
It's fear of new industry. And in fact, we're
say something more about that. What do you mean fear of new industry?
Well, it's a brand new product. I mean, it's growing around the country. It's growing rapidly. And there's a lot of negative connotation involved around it. Like you said yourself, they look like pipes.
Yeah, it does look like, let me see this. This looks like a pipe, but this is basically an e-cigarette.
It is an e-cigarette.
Can I take a toke?
Sure.
Oh.
Just hold the button down.
A button?
Yep.
Oh my God, nobody, that's vanilla. Oh, that's so good. I feel like I'm back in college, man. All right, but this stuff is not real smoke. It dissipates. That's it. Mm-hmm. No. So tell me, what?
We got that in the car, John.
Yeah, we got that in the car. So you think they're afraid of this because they're worried that it might hurt their city image? It's Greeley, after all. It's the West.
There's a lot of talk of secondhand vapor, but yet there's no medical.
Let me see if I understand it. It's steam. Mm-hmm. So if you're sitting next to somebody at your Starbucks and it's a cold day and there's a lot of steam, it's the same thing. It's not real smoke.
Right.
So they're worried about that, but is there any documentation about this? Do they have something to arrest it on? This is basically aesthetics.
Right.
And the city doesn't like the way it looks, doesn't like the way it feels. Have you talked to the city council members? What do they say?
The last time I went to them was on Tuesday, and it was hard to get a read on them. It really was.
Really?
I think, or I hope they're leaning towards this is not tobacco at all, and it's
not smoke.
I understand.
You know, I used to do stage lighting, and for concerts, and we would have fog machines that were basically vapor machines because you wanted some atmosphere in the air to do it. It wasn't smoke. This isn't smoke. So this is your problem.
They would like to control our lives and determine the decor on a restaurant in Greeley.
Incredible. All right, I want to talk about the two of you. How well have you gotten to know each other during all this?
Pretty well.
I mean, because you're just two businessmen. You want to open up a store which will live or die whether or not this product catches on and people like going out and hanging out at your vaping barn and socializing and buying their supplies. Your livelihood depends on people's businesses and your tenants being able to pay the rent.
Indeed.
All right. So you have this congenial relationship that is voluntary. Is anyone coercing this?
No.
No one's coercing this, and it's mutually beneficial, and it's consensual, right? You guys just want to have a relationship, and the government is stepping in and saying, we find your relationship perverse. We find it ugly and perhaps dangerous, which is exactly what they said about gay marriage and civil unions, which is, we don't understand what you guys are doing. We wouldn't do it. We find it distasteful. We're going to stop you from having a legal relationship. Am I close on this analogy?
100%.
Say more.
I guess my amazement is that after Chris and I got planning and zoning approval, city attorney approval, the building department inspected our dwelling, as did the fire department. We got a city license, I should say Chris did. This comes out of nowhere, and understand that I didn't go out my backyard and shake my mystical money tree. I had to get a loan for the tenant finish, and now this comes up. What could I have done different?
All you want to do is legalize your relationship. You just want to legalize relationships. That's what's going on here, at least in my eye. Any last words?
We went into this seeing no problems at all. And all of a sudden,
because the city didn't give you any.
Not being given a chance to succeed now.
People want to go to your shop. Where do they go? What's the name again?
Smokeless CG Vapors.
Smokeless CG Vapors. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Tell a friend and we'll see you next week.